Hi, this is Pam with Pamela Gropey Art, and today we are going to paint the purple hydrangeas that go in the pot I showed you last time. So here is my pot. It's not completely finished because I haven't shaded and highlighted it yet, but we're focusing on the hydrangeas today, so that doesn't matter. Well, I got my video done and somehow had skipped over when I painted the leaves. Now, imagine we have just pounced in the background, or before we've pounced in the background of the flowers. And I'm using my 3/4 inch flat brush, which is linked on my blog website with the step-by-step tutorial of this and the printable pattern. Now, I start with like a V on my surface where I'm going to put the leaf, and then I just make a scallop leaf. Hydrangeas leaves are kind of big and blousy, and it doesn't hurt to come over this a second time. And then I drag in the stem. And for the other leaves, and by the way, I double loaded in the thicket and the citrus green, which the supply list is with the pattern on the website. And so these other leaves are just slider leaves where I just kind of, here's the stem right here. It's behind the hydrangea right now. And I just press, lift, press, lift, drag the stem back down through if you like. You don't have to if you don't want to. And then this one here also is press, lift. And there's your slider leaves. They look a little messy because I went over top of them fast. Now I have an entire tutorial video on just leaves. If you want to check that out, I will link it in the cards above or on the last page, or also in the description box below. And that is how you add your leaf to your hydrangea pot painting. Now, many times I do start with the leaves when I'm doing florals. I probably mentioned this before, because I like them to set behind my flowers. So if I'd done this in the right order, there would not be any hydrangeas yet. It would just be the leaves, and then I would have pounced the background on top of the leaf. There you go. Next step, on to hydrangeas. So first I'm going to start with my scruffy brush. This is the Plaid 1-stroke 3/4 inch scruffy. And here on my palette paper I have 4 colors laid out for the time being. I will put a couple greens out, but I have, this is eggplant. These are the Folk Art Plaid Multi-Surface Craft Paints, and this darker is eggplant. This is lavender. This is light lavender, which really is just lavender and a little bit of white. But sometimes I just like the convenience colors. And wicker white. So I'm using the scruffy, as I said before. I'm just pouncing it in here, and I'm going to get, I just want to pounce in the background, even though it's really not going to show up much because it's dark on dark. I want that background of the darker purple. And then this one is kind of right here. Now it doesn't have to be a perfect circle. It could be kind of an oval. Whoops, almost got in the wrong paint, but that doesn't matter. And I'm kind of coming down over the lip of the pot. And this one is going to be bigger than that one. And then this one is going to be the largest, and it will have a little bit different shape. It's going to be a little bit rounder. It's going to go kind of off the edge there, come down over the edge here. Now in my demo piece I had a leaf coming down right here, which many times I put the leaves in first because then the flowers kind of overlay them, and that sets the leaves to the background. So I can come in and do that as soon as this dries. I'm going to let the background dry or I will speed it up with a blow dryer, which works very well. Now I'm going to do some of the petals. It's still a little wet, but I'm going to be starting, the outside edge is dry, so I'm going to start on there. I have a filbert. This is a Royal Majestic 4170 number 8 filbert. And let me pull this down into the camera better. So here I'm loading with eggplant, and I'm just going to make little teardrop strokes, kind of like some of my 5-petal flowers. And I'm just dragging in. I'm going past the outline of the dark purple that was pounced in. Not too far, but just so that you can kind of see the background between the petals. Now this is dark on dark, so it's just more or less giving the indication of petals rather than just being distinct. And we'll come back in with some lighter colors in a moment. So I'm just doing like 2 or 3, like 1, 2 together, and maybe 3. And I don't finish the flower because the center is going to be covered anyways. Now I'm going to do the same on this one down here. And it's just basically filling in with petal shapes. You're kind of making half flowers, really, what you're doing. You can make a full one here and there if you wish. Like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in my 1 5-petal flower post, I just tell you it's like a man. There's a head, 2 arms, and 2 legs coming to the center point. So now I'm going to do the same thing on these 2. I'm just going to work my way in from the outside with the eggplant color. And you really don't need to see that because you can kind of already have the idea. And I don't want to bore you to death. I did want to note that you can use a larger brush. But after a little bit, the petals with this one get pretty large. It gets kind of gummed up with paint. I got a little bit of green in there. But don't worry about that, it's okay. And you get looser as you go, or at least I do, because it gets tedious sometimes. But you just fill in. I'm going over that stem. The stem will show a little bit. And over the leaf. And I'm going to need to reload my palette because I'm running out of the dark purple. Please be sure and check out my website at PamelaGropey.com, where you can find a resource library full of free patterns, checklists, worksheets, and other kinds of fun stuff.